Only 6% of all real estate agents are black, and only 3% of them sell more than one house a year.
What's up, fam? My name is Lamar Tyler, creator and founder of Traffic, Sales, and Profit. And we got a dope interview in the TSP studio today. A dynamic family, right? And what they're doing is going to change the way you think about real estate, around ownership, around generational wealth, and how we can build it, around opportunity in real estate in a lot of ways you may not have thought of it. I learned some surprising information. I can't wait for us to share that with you. We're joined today by Dante Lee and Kiyah Jordan. Thank y'all for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
All right, so y'all have something great that's going in real estate. We're gonna talk about that in a second. But first, Dante, I wanted to talk about the fact me and you probably met the first time 15
or 20
years ago in DC at the time. I ran the IT department at Fox 5 in DC, and we had a network right around African American content, My Voice DC. And one of the sisters, Tracy, what's up? Shout out to Tracy if Tracy see this. Said, hey, it's a Bowie State guy, Bowie State or Bowie State alum. He's doing amazing things, running amazing businesses. And we brought you in, and you were younger than me at the point, but I was like, this dude is doing it, right? Like, what's your story if the people don't know? Because a lot of people may know you as Mr. Make the Black Business Go Viral. Now they're about to know what you're doing in real estate. But like, how did you get up to that point?
Okay, so as you mentioned, I went to Bowie State University. I started Bowie State when I was 19, literally in my sophomore year on campus. I started coming up. I'm gonna say this, I discovered Black Enterprise Magazine, so that might shock a lot of people. I never heard of Black Enterprise Magazine until I was like 20 years old at an HBCU campus in the library. And I picked up an issue, and the first thing I said was, wow, black people can have a business? Because no one had ever introduced that concept to me, and I didn't know anybody who had a black business at the time. So immediately my wheels started spinning. I ended up launching my company right there on campus in the computer lab. And that first website was a website called blackbizjournal.com, which later became blackheadlines.com, which later became blacknews.com. And I had to spend money for blacknews.com because obviously that's a premium domain. Back then I had to pay like $5,000 for it, which was a lot back then. Nowadays, a premium domain for $5,000, that's a steal. But 25 years ago, that was a lot of money. So I was able to get it, saved up the money, got it, started. The whole idea was to create this media company, right? Push out positive information about black people, black entrepreneurs. And I was monetizing it through ads. And then a colleague, a friend of mine's, he made a great suggestion. He said, bro, you should start charging people to have their stories featured on your site. And then I came up with the idea for what is now blackpr.com. I said, you know what? Instead of just charging people to have their article featured on the site, I'm gonna help them get their story to all the black newspapers, all the black magazines, all the black blogs, radio stations, and TV, and they can be on my site. So that's how blackpr.com was born. Now blackpr.com is the #1 press release distribution service to help black business owners and others, black nonprofit leaders, anybody who's doing any type of black excellence to get their story out to the black media and get the publicity. And then, yeah, as much as we possibly can, we try to help people go viral, and we're very successful at that.
Yeah, I love that. You had a mission. How many was it? It was like a certain number of black businesses you wanted to go viral or take viral, like last year or so?
Every year, so it was 1,000, right? It was like, oh, I'm gonna get 1,000 black businesses to go viral. But the goal this year has been 5,000, and honestly, we're gonna meet that goal.
Wow,
Yeah.
I love it, I love it. And it's great because a lot of people, even they don't know blackpr.com, they've seen the results of it across different platforms. Like you said, you taking, black brands, black companies, people that are making history in their own rights in their own cities and amplifying their message so they get more visibility. In any specific stories, like what's your favorite story or your favorite business, that got featured and kind of blew up on Black PR?
That's a good question. I mean, all of them are my favorites because for example, we help, there's a lot of young entrepreneurs, right, that are doing big stuff. And we get them, I look up one day and they're on Good Morning America. That happened recently. We had a client, it was a father and son. They're called Junior Wall Streeters. They teach these financial literacy classes online. I turned on the TV one day, they were on Good Morning America. And I'm like, wow. And we see that, and that happens a lot. It doesn't happen with every client, obviously.
Sure.
But the thing is, getting publicity even in Black Enterprise and the thousands of other Black publications that exist and blogs that exist, it always makes us feel good and always makes them feel good because again, these stories are not being told by like general media. CNN has a little bit of diversity to it. MSNBC and all these other platforms, they cover us a little bit, but there's so many untold stories of Black people doing amazing things, and that's our job to amplify those stories.
I love it, and y'all are doing a great job of it. My last question about Black PR, what's the formula, man? Because you take stuff viral on a consistent basis, and I know from knowing individuals like yourself, it's not chance. Like people think a lot of time like stuff is chance. Can you give us like a little bit insight on like if we have great content, we need more visibility? What's some of the things? Is the headlines? Is the subject? Is the content? Is it where we place it? Like what's the some of the keys?
This is a good question because this is what we talk with our clients most about. The two most important elements of your press release are the headline and the photo. The truth of the matter is nobody is really going to read the story. They might glance through it, they may take a look at it, but you gotta capture them with a sensationalized headline. And I say sensationalize, I'm not saying be dishonest, just sensationalize what you're doing. Make it sound like a big deal, even if it's not, and then have that killer photo that works with the headline so that a person doesn't have to figure out what you're talking about. So just by looking at the headline and the photo, they already know what you do, they already know why it's a big deal, and they already know why they should embrace it.
I love it. I love it. So y'all got that, right? Like the different pieces, put them together, and you can go viral like Black PR all the time, or maybe not.
I mean, we can't guarantee you go viral, but we try to give you the best chance possible, giving you the best chance possible. And even if you don't go viral, you can still get a lot of publicity, which translates into traffic to your website as well as sales.
I love it. And I love even the importance of that publicity. I tell people all the time, what we used to do is we would like stack press. So, a lot of people may say, I'm not on, Good Morning America or Today Show, but if we got a few of the small newspaper websites to get us, then we would take that to show to local news.
Absolutely.
And then when local news would get us, we take that and then go to a Washington Post letter. So like we literally just would stack it on top of each other, kind of keep pushing and moving.
That's exactly how it goes.
All right, perfect, good stuff. So Kiyah, I want to say again, welcome, right? Thanks for doing this interview for this Traffic Sales and Profit. Tell us about this initiative and this new business opportunity, not just for y'all, but for other individuals in the Black community that you and your dad are pulling together.
Yeah, so me and my dad talked last year about what my next move was. I previously was a flight attendant, but I wanted to get into real estate. And he was like, oh, that's a great idea. Like, we should do that and I'll support you. And I was like, awesome. I knew that real estate, if you don't know what you're doing, it could be competitive and not easy. And being in San Diego, that's also like, okay, where do I start? With his Black PR business, he was like, you know what? The fact that you're a young Black woman, we could really use that. And we can help other Black real estate agents be successful. And with his expertise with marketing, he was like, the main thing to be a successful real estate agent is you need to know how to capture leads. I'm not the greatest at that, but with his training and again with his background, I knew that we could be successful moving forward. So that's when we came up with Black home ownership and Black real estate. The whole goal is to uplift the community and make sure that that small percentage of Black real estate agents are actually getting their money's worth in the work that they're putting in by getting the right leads.
I love it. You were telling right before we started, like what's the percentage of Black real estate agents out there?
So it's really sad. Only 6% of all real estate agents are Black, and only 3% of them sell more than one house a year.
Wow.
So as my daughter mentioned, we ourselves wanted to start a Black-owned real estate company, right? One of them is homeownership.com, which she mentioned, which means we are a Black-owned lending company. We make sure that Black and brown people get approved for them home loans when you want to buy that house, when you want to buy that condo, when you want to buy that investment Airbnb property or whatever, apartment building, whatever it is, we're going to make sure that that loan gets approved because we all know that when you walk in a bank to get a home loan, they're going to profile you. They're probably not going to give you the loan, but if they do give you the loan, there's a lot of predatory lending going on. And we definitely don't do that, obviously being Black. Secondly, yes, to help and support other real estate agents so that they can be successful, we launched a product called blackmlos.com, MLO standing for mortgage loan officer. So we're literally training black real estate agents how they can actually as well become mortgage loan officers so that they can increase their revenue and also be a one-stop shop. So instead of just being able to help somebody to buy or sell a house and then sending them elsewhere to get the financing, you can do the financing in-house, and then you also generate revenue from that as well.
Very good. So they, like I said, they can kind of take more of that piece of the pie.
Exactly.
Instead of giving it out to somebody else. Most time they're giving it out. Those loan officers are not people in our community, most likely, I would guess. Because I would guess we probably only a small percentage of that pool, too.
So here's the thing, 44% of black people own their homes versus almost 80% of white people. So just like in everywhere else, you know, we know that there's a wealth gap within the black community. There's also a home ownership gap, and we're trying to bridge or close that gap.
But I'm going to challenge y'all, because on Instagram and TikTok, they telling me that I shouldn't own. They telling me that I should only, it's crazy to own a home because, you know, I'm going to have extra fees. And y'all have seen all this conversation. Like, what would y'all say to the person that's been watching that on Instagram or TikTok and just believing that's the way to go?
So, yes, there's a lot of controversy around home ownership. What I respect and recognize that everyone's situation is different. However, you want to think about your end goal, your long-term goals. Renting your entire life is not going to lead to generational wealth. So the only way you achieve generational wealth is through ownership, and one of those is real estate. That way, that's something you can pass down to your kids, you can monetize it, it's another source of income. So if you're thinking in those terms, I definitely promote and encourage home ownership, because renting for 15, 20, 30 years, by that time you've paid that other person's mortgage and you've only paid 100% interest. So that's my take on home ownership.
Yeah, and you know what the crazy thing is? That's also why we decided to make this a family-owned business. Because that's what it's about. It's about group economic, it's about generational wealth, it's about making sure that your kids and your grandkids are going to have something. That's not something that we see a lot of in the black community. Home ownership is one of the elements that will enable you to do that.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. And as y'all talk about that, it reminded me of my own story. Like the building we're in, we own the building.
I remember.
Right.
When did you guys acquire the building?
2019.
2019, so 5 years already.
Yep,
amazing.
So in 2019, we moved in 2020 after construction downstairs. But when we moved, the whole reason, we saw somebody else that owned their office. And it hadn't even dawned on me that that was a real thing. Mm-hmm. Until I knew, which is the importance of always say proximity to success, and us as black people seeing other black people doing things that we should aspire to do and be one day. So I saw we had clients that owned, shout out to Cal and Renee, they invited us to our office, and I said, yo, like we could own the office? Never even dawned on me. Then when I saw the price, us owning was actually cheaper than us renting, right? Which is like a real thing in home ownership a lot of times, because these apartments ain't cheap. That's the part they forget to leave out, right? Like those prices are skyrocketing. And then in addition with it, I had that mental shift that you just talked about, Kiyah, where I was like, yo, we're creating generational wealth. It just ain't for us. Because we had anticipated the place we were at being there 2 years. It was already 5 years in. And every month we were doing a great job of paying them the actual lease rent every single month. And it was 6 other units besides us. So I'm like, yo, every month they got 7 people paying rent to them that's paying off their mortgage, if they even still have a mortgage on the building. And we're making this family independently wealthy in the long run. So I think more of us, right? I commend y'all what y'all doing. I feel like more of us in our community, we have to ownership. You talk about ownership. Like ownership is the key.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, everything we're doing and everything we've ever done has always been about empowering black and brown people. Whether we're pushing out positive black news, whether we're helping black entrepreneurs get more sales and more publicity, and now help, and then you know we're in the recruiting space as well, right? So we own blackjobs.com. We also own hispanicjobs.com. We're making sure, and Donald Trump, by the way, he messed us up when he used that phrase, black jobs. We had a couple of our clients that were like, we don't know if we need to be calling these black jobs anymore. Fortunately, that went away after a week. So, but no, the jobs on our website, blackjobs.com, these are junior and senior level jobs. These are not bottom level jobs. These are real, actual good jobs with employers who are committed to diversity and inclusion. But I mentioned that to say that's part of what we do, And now that we've introduced the whole real estate component, everything we're doing is about uplifting our people and again, pushing generational wealth, pushing group economics, pushing what's needed so that we can be thriving, not just now, but 10 years from now, 15 years from now.
I was about to ask, I'm glad you said, I'm about to ask you, for you guys coming together to do this, like what is your goal, right, for this company 5, 10, 15 years from now? Like what do y'all want to see?
Oof.
We want to see, well, we want to create more generational wealth for ourselves, right? Because we ourselves realize that we need to adopt that ourselves. But more than anything, there's no greater joy than helping others so that they can do that. So we're going to continue to do what we've been doing. And, you know, we own a lot of domains, right? A lot of premium domains. So actually, when my daughter asked me, when I asked her, I was like, hey, what's our next step? What's the next move you think we should make? And she said, let's start a real estate company. I was like, oh, okay. We own blackhomeownership.com. We actually own blackrealestate.com. And they was like, oh, we also own gentrification.com. And we own predatory-lending.com. Like, we can use all of it. So that gave us like a huge advantage. But I mean, where do we see us? I mean, it's just, we just want to keep doing whatever is needed to uplift our community, because that does change from time to time.
That's so good, so good.
Yeah, so I think having that financial stability, the home ownership, just specifically for our family is really important. If we, you know, when you're so distracted and you're in survival mode, you're not going to get very far in life. And so we just want to create that space for not just our family, but every family, that they have that space where they can go and aspire and achieve their dreams, you know, have that stability and that security.
Yeah.
Now, I know y'all mentioned the company's based in San Diego. Is this only a San Diego thing for people all over the country? Connect with y'all? Like what's that look like?
So we are operating in all 50 states.
Nationwide.
Yeah,
everything
nationwide. We're helping all real estate agents across the nation to be able to expand their income in every single state in the U.S.
And we're helping Black and brown families in all 50 states to own their homes. Yeah. Or refinance. That's another thing. If you're a victim of predatory lending, which a lot of people are, because if you've been messing around with Wells Fargo and all the other companies, you're a victim of predatory lending. Yeah, we offer, we can come in and refinance your loan and make sure that it makes sense for you and your family. You know?
I love it. I love it. So again, right, hopefully y'all are getting this, because our community has been impacted by a lot of things they're talking about. And you say, hey, like if they already got a product where they say, hey, something may not have been right with this, there's no harm in reaching out to y'all, connecting with y'all and seeing if taking a look at it and seeing if we can do something better.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. If someone is a realtor watching, like what would you say to them?
If you're a realtor, sign up for our website at blackmlos.com. Again, that acronym MLO stands for Mortgage Loan Officer. We are literally training Black real estate agents from all across the country how they can become licensed mortgage loan officers in all 50 states. You don't have to take an exam. You don't have to have prior experience in lending. We will help you with the training. But yeah, sign up there. We jump on Zoom every Friday at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. And yeah, we're just building what needs to be built. We're building what should have been built all along. Yeah, and again, it's really interesting that only 6%, so basically 94%, because we were talking about this earlier, right? Most of us who live in Black communities, we see a lot of Black real estate agents, and we just assume that Black real estate agents represent a huge portion of real estate agents. 94% of all real estate agents are not Black. Only 6% of them are Black. And again, out of that number, only 3% are actually selling more than one house a year. So we want to, real estate is a huge wealth creator for people. It's a cornerstone of wealth, just like home ownership is. And so, yeah, we want to see our real estate agents to be more successful, and that's what we're doing.
I did have a question for you about that on the real estate piece too. Because you do have a background in marketing. Mm-hmm. Will you like share any of those things with the agents that, you know, come to you guys?
Of course.
Okay, I want to show that now.
As my daughter mentioned earlier, right? So, yeah, I mean, that's, and you know this too. The success to any business is when you master the marketing. Like, so we all know McDonald's doesn't sell the best hamburgers, but they mastered the marketing. So they're selling the most hamburgers because of that. So it's the same thing. Yeah, absolutely. It comes down to knowing how to market yourself, knowing how to leverage social media, knowing how to generate those leads that she mentioned, and then also just knowing how to offer that superb customer service experience as well, because a lot of people need help with that as well.
I love it. All right, any last words you want to give to people?
Check out blackhomeownership.com if you're interested in a home loan. If you're trying to buy a condo, a house, an investment property, we can help you get that loan approved. We are a Black-owned lending company. If you're a real estate agent and you want us to help you take that next step so you can be a one-stop shop and also be a mortgage loan officer, go to blackmlos.com. If you're an entrepreneur looking for publicity and looking to go viral and just looking to get featured in Black Enterprise or your local Black newspaper, or maybe even make it to like Good Morning America, CNN, People Magazine, go to blackpr.com. I don't want to throw all of our websites because we got so many of them.
If you need a job, if you Black, go to Black Jobs. You Hispanic, you need a job. I love it. I love it. Kiyah, any last words for the people?
Yeah, just don't be afraid. Take that next step. Be fearless. Come to us. Just let us know what you need, whether it's home ownership or you're a real estate agent and want to take that next step. Come to us. We'll walk you step by step. We won't bombard you with a bunch of information, but we'll be very thorough and make sure you get you what you need.
All right, so y'all got it. You heard it here first. Hey, make sure you support them. Make sure you jump on the website. We'll have links down below in the description as well. And I love what they talked about. I believe, like totally believe, home ownership is a key to wealth in our community. Somehow we're being tricked out. Like we finally got like access to it. We're being tricked out of it and being told that we shouldn't want it. But I totally believe that you should, right? It's a cornerstone for so many other families. So why not yours? Thank y'all again for coming out. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.